A series of courtroom setbacks for Donald Trump has reinforced strong legal protections for the American media. Courts have repeatedly dismissed defamation lawsuits filed by Trump, showcasing how the high bar required to prove actual malice against news organizations. And his latest legal defeat came in a case against the Wall Street Journal, where a federal judge ruled that the claims fell far short of meeting constitutional standards. But legal losses have not slowed Trump's broader campaign viewers against the press. Now, legal experts have argued that objective may not be courtroom victories, but creating sustained pressure on media organizations through litigation, regulatory threats, and even public attacks. And despite weak legal footing, some cases have still resulted in costly settlements for several media firms, raising questions about whether the strategy is working in practice for Donald Trump. Experts have also warned of a potential chilling effect. According to legal scholars, even unsuccessful lawsuits can discourage aggressive reporting by increasing legal risks and financial burdens on newsrooms. And the concern is not just about cases won or cases lost, but about stories that may never be pursued under the shadow of legal intimidation by those in positions of power. At the same time, Trump's rhetoric against the media continues to shape public perception. By repeatedly questioning the credibility of mainstream outlets, analysts say the campaign also aims to weaken trust in journalism, a move that could have long-term implications for democratic discourse. The pressure campaign, viewers, extends beyond lawsuits, from attempts to limit passes, press access, to moves targeting public broadcasters. The Trump administration has tested the boundaries of executive power, often triggering legal pushback from media organizations, and courts have intervened in several cases, blocking actions deemed unconstitutional. But the pace of legal proceedings often lags behind rapid policy moves, and the broader challenge lies in the mismatch between a slow-moving judicial system and fast-paced political action. So even when courts ultimately rule in favor of the press, the impact of earlier decisions or disruptions may already be felt. So the bottom line is, viewers, while the courts uphold press freedoms, the larger battle over media power and public trust is still playing out far beyond the courtroom. Let's listen in to Donald Trump.
But Iran is known for a lot of fake news, and they deal with our fake news. And I actually think it's pretty criminal, because our media companies, who have no credibility whatsoever, are putting out information that they know is false. And it's a very dangerous thing for the country. I think they could be in serious jeopardy. You know what ABC is? I think it's maybe the most corrupt news organizations on the planet. I think they're terrible. I don't want anyone from ABC. You're going to find out what you know with respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that they know, including J.P. Morgan. Yeah, Jennifer, go ahead.
So this was totally unannounced. Nobody knew we were coming. I hope the press is going to cover it fairly, because nobody gets crowds like this. They want to see our country be great again. It's very simple.
So I think if Trump is able to bring the mainstream media and others to heel through threats of litigation, through actual litigation, through the efforts of his commissioner of the Federal Communications Commission, that is, I think, in his view, what will serve his agenda, because it will effectively try, at least, to move off of the playing field anything that is critical or in any way objectionable to him from the media landscape. Well, the merits of Trump's lawsuits pose an interesting question, because the cases themselves that he has brought are largely meritless, if not entirely meritless. But he has proven successful because he has been able to intimidate, coerce the media into capitulating to him. And consequently, the merits of his lawsuits, the ones he brought, for example, against ABC, the ones that he brought against CBS, the ones that he has ongoing against the Wall Street Journal and the BBC, are all without merit, frankly, from my perspective. But Nevertheless, at least in the first two instances, he's been able to extract millions of dollars from those companies. And so the strategy from his point of view, I think, has proven successful.
One measure of success would be the reporting that we don't see. If he can chill aggressive and zealous reporting by other journalists, I think that would be one measure by which he would judge success. A second would be securing financial payouts. He's already secured some very profitable payouts from media organizations already. And then the third, and I think the sort of most important and in some ways most damaging effect, is this broader weakening in the public's faith in the press to be reporting truthful information. And if he can cast the press writ large in a light that that they're not being honest, they're not telling truthful stories, then that is going to also advance his broader agenda as well. I think ultimately the real goal is not necessarily a victory in court. I think the real goal is to try and instill fear among other journalists. I think the real goal is to try and make it more costly for journalists to report on the president and his administration. And I think the goal is to convey to his supporters, his political supporters, and to the public more broadly that the press is not doing its job, it's not reporting honestly.